I'm gonna add.
Last week, Seth called his mother-in-law and said all this fighting was her fault. Now, Irma is the mother-in-law for Seth, threatened that she'll never see her grandsons again. Then during a breakup, Jessica ran to her mother's house to get away. Seth followed her and, according to Irma, caused a drunken scene. Is this just a constant thing?
It's at least once a week. I get attacked, or I get ugly looks, or name calls, and just all kinds of stuff happens.
And you did get attacked. Yeah. Take a look.
Irma lunged at me, and it took her brother and Jessica to try to hold her back.
She was waving her arms around, trying to hit him and grab him. She went after him with the intention of hurting him.
I was holding my son, trying to put him in the car seat for us to leave. And while I was doing that, her mother was screaming profanity at me in Spanish. She was saying just about every bad name you could think of.
There's really no telling if he would have dropped the baby.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It really made my jaw drop.
Her emotions were just off the charts.
I'm not afraid to confront him, especially when he does disrespect me. I get so angry that I literally want to go over there and just slap him.
Well, it gets worse. Seth and Irma say their worst confrontation was the day Jessica gave birth. Their war actually began, you were just in the delivery room getting ready to do this, right?
It was about 30 minutes before I actually had my
Okay, so
son.
you two get in a fight over her? You're on opposite sides of the bed?
Yeah,
so you're
I was there
literally
with
in the middle. Well, let's take a look.
Everything changed the day that I delivered my first son, Deacon.
Before the delivery, Jessica and I had decided as a family that we wanted to be in the room together, just us. As Jessica was going into labor, and her mom started yelling at me from across the bed. You're such an who do you think you are?
I don't really quite recall what I might have said to Seth.
I had my parents on my right side of me and Seth on my left side of me, and they were yelling at each other, and I was like in intense labor. I was hyperventilating. They did have to give me an oxygen mask. The baby's heartbeat was going up.
The doctor was worried that there was going to be complications because of the stress, and so at that point they asked her mother to leave the room.
We felt like strangers out in the lobby, like we were just nobody. We didn't even feel like grandparents at that time.
I do feel that Jessica's mom ruined the birth of my first son.
Okay. Irma,
You know, Dr. Phil, I see that, and the argument in the birthing room was when the doctor turned around and asked, because I was not in there arguing, the doctor asked who is going to be in the delivery room. And that's what he said.
And Seth answered.
And that's when he said, just me and Jessica, which really surprised me because I really thought that they were going to let me do this.
We had already brought it up before.
it's not your call.
I know it's not my call, Dr.
At that
Phil.
time, at that moment, what you need to do is make a 180 and leave the room.
And I
you
did.
don't run your own agenda while your daughter is having a baby. Come on. Now, that is the ultimate of selfishness. I'm just telling you the truth.
When it comes to my daughter, Jessica, I can be a royal. I'm very, very protective. And because of Seth's ups and downs, we continue to be concerned with Jessica and the boys.
I would describe Irma as a very power-driven, controlling mother. If you go against Jessica's mother, it's like going against God.
Let me just kind of go through a list of things I made about Seth, who you say shows one side here and another side other times. You cuss at Jessica in front of Irma. You've called her in front of her mother.
The fight is mutual. When me and Jessica get into it, it gets heated.
That's not an essay question.
Hey, it gets heated. I'm not going to lie.
That's
It's
not
a
an essay
marriage.
question.
It's not
That's
a
yes.
picnic.
That's a yes or a no. You either have done that
Yes,
or you
I
haven't.
have.
Okay. You've called her the B word.
Yes, I have.
You said to Jessica, and I quote, according to Jessica's sister, who we'll talk to in a minute, who's going to want you with your stretch marks and scars? Did you say that?
Yes, I did. I'm gonna add to that. I love my wife very much. Marriages, like I was saying, aren't picnics. They take a lot of work. And me and Jessica went into this marriage not knowing each other. We had a child very early in the relationship, and we're still growing and getting to know each other. And every day it gets better, and I think that our love gets stronger every day. No matter what her family does, no matter what,
so Lori,
how much they get involved.
You're not proud of that behavior on his part.
No, I'm not. But I will also add that the chaotic, volatile nature of their family was there long before Seth ever came into it. No, I am not proud of the fact that my son has gotten caught up in all of that. I'm not proud of that at all.
caught
We
up.
have not made
I didn't
your
make
son
him
what
like
he
that.
is, Lori. Do not
Okay.
blame this on us.
But I will also-
He
son is your
did that by
son.
himself.
Let me just cut to the bottom line here, okay? This is your marriage. It seems like alcohol is involved a lot. So you're a father now. Just don't do that. You just have to recognize when I pour alcohol on a volatile situation, it's going to flame up. So come on, it doesn't take a... There's a pattern here. You need to stop doing that. You need to get out of their lives so far as an advice giver, a confidant, an interjector in this. Have a wonderful relationship with your daughter, but you have to grow up. It's like you're doing this the same way you did it when you were a teenager, and you need to put up some boundaries and recognize that if you've got problems with your husband, taking them to your mother, who is anything but objective. She's going to tell you, she's going to side with you. She's not going to see things in you. She's going to really contaminate the situation because you engage her unfairly. You need to be mature enough to put up boundaries and keep the in-laws out of the relationship. Andrea says her war with her mother, Vicki, started 3 months ago when Vicki gave her an ultimatum: pay rent or move out of one of her rental properties. They've barely spoken since.
My current relationship with my daughter is very turbulent. Andrea has a sense of entitlement.
I feel justified that we didn't pay rent. We put a lot of work into that house.
She exhausted my funds. I'm telling her that they need to pay rent, and she's always used medical stuff as an excuse. She had 2 heart attacks, and she was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I feel bad about all of that, but my mortgage company doesn't care. I gave them an ultimatum that they either needed to start paying rent or move. The fight was on. It wasn't like I said, let's figure out another way to make her more miserable. She's called me a selfish, greedy. You're a lousy mother. You're a monster.
Well, here's what her daughter Andrea wants you to know before you pick sides.
I call my mom Saint Vicky. She acts like she does everything. Like, look at me, look how perfect I am, and look at all I do for Andrea. My mom bought a home and we lived there. She didn't have a problem with us not paying rent. She knew we didn't have the money. She'd tell us, don't worry about paying, you need the money, and then hold it over our heads like we're horrible people. My mom is very manipulative, very controlling. She just blows up. She'll scream and yell. She says, I'm a spoiled brat, I'm being a... She's called me white trash. My mother made the ultimatum I needed to move out or pay her rent. I'm upset at the timing. In December of '07, I had a heart attack. I believe that my mom's caused a lot of my stress. I was diagnosed with cancer 4 months ago. It's like 6 years, and all of a sudden now you have to pay rent when you have cancer. We didn't have any money. I had $60 in my bank account. How could we give her rent? All she cares about is the money. I'm not even as important as her house. I'm grateful. I'm extremely grateful because she's given us a lot, but I felt really betrayed by her. She didn't realize how much I lose by having cancer, so I've lost my whole life. And she just doesn't even see how that hurt me. That was my home I lived in for almost 7 years, where I felt comfortable and safe, and she took all of that away.
Okay, so what it sounds like, you picked a time when she was really having serious health problems. After 6 years, you chose that time to kick her out. What do you say about that?
That's not the truth, and she knows that's not the truth. I've been telling her all along. She moved out a year ago.
No, you kicked me out a year ago.
Because you had a boyfriend and you're running around town with him.
Mom, you know that's not even true.
That is true, Andrea.
So you kicked me out because you didn't like my lifestyle?
Yes, and I told you exactly then I was not. The reason why you lived in that house with those grandkids was because of the kids. You know, it's like you had Melody, and that's what was started with. And then you decided to have another baby and bring him into the family. And we had a big argument that Christmas. So don't say that I just started.
Because of you.
What's your question for me?
Should I keep her in my life?
No.
That's what I was thinking.
No, it's not working for you.
No.
You've either got to redefine the relationship or you've got to protect yourself. You've had 2 heart attacks. You're fighting cancer. You're just finishing chemo. Stress and all of that is the worst thing you could be subjecting yourself to right now.
I agree with you.
So do you want to know if you need some distance from her at this point? The answer is yes, you do, because you physically can't afford the stress of a constant turmoil and dialogue with your mother. This emotionally, hopefully you can work this out. I'm happy to make resources available to you to help you do that, but you have to protect yourself physically. You have children that depend and rely upon you. You need to take care of their mother, and if you two are going to be bickering back and forth all the time, that is a physiological reality you can't endure.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. When she kicked me out the first time and I moved back in, she knew very well I couldn't financially afford to pay her rent. She knew that. And then I had my heart attack.
Get 2 jobs to pay the rent.
Yeah, and you know what?
Stand...
And I'm sorry, but who's going to help me with 2 jobs? I don't have anybody else to help me. He works a 40-hour day.
You promised, and Simon wasn't supposed to move back in.
And then I had a heart attack, what, a month later?
No,
because
2 months later.
I'm so stressed, Mom. You stressed me completely out.
I stressed you out.
Yeah,
not having an affair, doing all the stuff that you were doing.
I didn't have an affair. I left my husband.
Oh, please.
Seriously, Mom. You kicked me out after I just had chemo. I couldn't even get out of bed.
I didn't kick you out, Andrea. I gave you a choice. I said you can come and move in with me, or you can pay rent.
And I said we would pay rent,
and
that wasn't good enough.
Simon was living there. Simon makes $50,000 a year. Mm-hmm. He can pay rent.
And I said we would pay rent, and that
but
wasn't even good enough.
You want to buy trailers? You want to buy
that you use?
You want to buy?
And you went on vacation with us almost every weekend.
Oh, yeah. I know, every weekend. I went on 4 trips.
4, really?
Yeah, 2 one summer and 2 the next summer. 2 weekends.
Oh, yeah. She told me she was going to sell one of her cars to help take care of me. I didn't ask her. I've never asked her. Have I? Have I seriously asked you, Mom, to do any of this? Have I?
No, not at all. I've just handed it over. I forced you to live there.
Okay, let me...
No, this is like ridiculous. Seriously. Seriously, this is ridiculous. I haven't done anything to you. Nothing.
I didn't do anything to you other than say you needed to pay rent and Simon...
And we have, Mom. We have paid rent. We have paid rent, Mom, and we put money into the house.
Okay, what do you want?
I want her out of my life. And I don't think that that's unfair of me to say that she shouldn't be around my children.
Okay, well, you are an adult, and you have complete control over who you have relationships with and who you don't. So the good news is you want something that you have the ability to choose and create. And this isn't working.
So with the first family, that mother-in-law is a bit out of control. I mean, the story of how she was in the delivery room screaming and cursing at the husband while her daughter is giving birth. Her daughter is getting stressed out. Her heart rate's going up. The baby's heart rate is going up while the baby is being born, and they had to get kicked out of the delivery room is so ridiculous. She never should have been in the delivery room in the first place. She should have respected their wishes for it to just be the 2 of them. It does also sound like the husband is maybe not so great. The way that he talks to his wife, what he said about her body after giving birth, saying no one would want her after all these stretch marks and like scars from giving birth is insane. So it definitely sounds like he has some issues that he needs to work through, but her mom is ridiculous. I also think it's ridiculous that he and his mother are trying to blame her family for him making that comment about her body. Like, no, I'm sorry, sir. You did that all on your own. That was your choice. Be a man, own up to it. In the second story, as I was watching it, I kept going back and forth with, I guess whose side I was on, because I was very unsure about things. But at the end of the day, it does seem like her mom kicked her out after she just got cancer and was undergoing chemo treatment. After she had had multiple heart attacks, that seems very cruel and heartless. I understand if the mom is saying, like, I can't afford this, but there must be some better way to go about it. It also seemed like the mom was very, like, unsympathetic or empathetic about the fact that her daughter has had multiple heart attacks and is fighting cancer. That was just very odd to me. Like, there was no compassion or empathy coming from the mom. I got no feelings of love, just like bitterness and resentment. But I guess the resolution to that would be going no contact. It sounds like that's what the daughter wants to do. But what did you guys think about this? What did you think about the first story? Did you think that the mother-in-law is ridiculous? I did. Did you think that the husband is also ridiculous? I did. What did you think about the second story? Do you think that the mother has the right to kick her daughter out for not paying rent, even though her daughter just had chemo treatments because she was diagnosed with cancer and had multiple heart attacks? Do you think the daughter is right to be upset about this? You guys let me know what you think about this. Drop it in the comments.